What the Kansas City Chiefs have been able to do this offseason is a prime example of why this franchise is finding so much success. Also, when you have the best quarterback in the league and on his way to being the greatest of all time, it definitely helps out a ton. The Chiefs last season had a very interesting year. They led the league in drops, which is something we haven't seen from a Mahomes-led offense. And they also led the league in flags with the 2 top flag receivers on their team being L'Jarius Sneed, who is no longer on the roster, and Jawan Taylor, who has 3 years left on his contract. These things helped shape the Chiefs team to have that chip on their shoulder, and as everyone thought they were underdogs the whole entire time, they weren't. Patrick, Andy Reid, Kelce, and the rest of the organization understand when you have Patrick as your quarterback, anything can be done. Almost as every year is Super Bowl or bust for Kansas City now, as it should be, honestly. You're paying your quarterback $500 million. You should go after the Super Bowl every year. But the Chiefs were able to adjust to losing a few key pieces and made their team even stronger going into the next season. We all understand that they have an opportunity to go for the three-peat, but it is so hard to actually be done, hence why it's never been done. But what Kansas City is doing to set them up for this coming season gives them the best opportunity to chase after the three-peat. The Chiefs had an offense that struggled throughout the regular season last year, but got it together in the playoffs, which is nice, but hopefully we see a high firepower offense again in Kansas City throughout the entire season. Rashid Rice is expected to miss half the season, which it seems like the league is going to be harsh on Rashid to use him as an example. This honestly is way better than being cut or even kicked out of the NFL, so we just have to hope Rashid learned his lesson and does not involve himself in situations like this again, because he plays a huge role for this team, especially next season. Rashid finished the season very strong last year, having 79 receptions for 938 yards and 7 touchdowns. It's just very unfortunate that that had to happen, especially when Rashid's having a great start to his career, winning a Super Bowl his rookie season and putting up great numbers towards the end of the year. Mahomes started targeting Rashid towards the second half of the year, and we saw great strides from Rice. So like I said, it's very unfortunate that he did involve himself in a situation like this, but you just hope he learns from it and doesn't do anything like it again. Rashid was expected to play a big role for the Chiefs offense next season, but at least he will be around during the playoffs, which is a good thing. It would be unfair for the league to not suspend Rashid. I personally just want it to be done and over with as soon as possible and not drag the situation out any longer than it needs to be. The Chiefs have prepared this offense to have a much better year overall by drafting key pieces that this team needed. They drafted an offensive lineman in Kingsley Sumatai, who I covered in my last Chiefs video, but he's a very dominant tackle who's going to help this offensive line a ton. And it's great the Chiefs were able to get a new deal done with Travis Kelce, making him the highest paid tight end in NFL history. But unfortunately, he's getting older and will most likely retire soon, so the Chiefs do need to prepare for this sooner than later. They did just that in the draft, but they also did this offseason by picking up Irv Smith Jr. to help the tight end room. They also have Noah Gray, who continues to step up in every way that he can. But the Chiefs in the 4th round selected Jared Wiley, who is a 6'6", 250-pound tight end who the Chiefs believe he can be Kelce's successor. Wiley will also be able to go in there and learn a ton from him. Wiley played 3 seasons at the University of Texas before transferring and playing 2 more at TCU, where he had a breakout season, recording 520 yards off 47 catches and 8 touchdowns, racking in 12 touchdowns in over 2 years at TCU. Andy Reid favors multiple tight end formations. Last season, the Chiefs were 4th in the NFL in 2 tight end formations last season, using them 28% of the time. We also saw the tight end being in motion pre-snap a ton this season. Wiley is now the 3rd tight end selected by Kansas City in the draft since Kelce, Noah Gray being the 2nd, and now the Chiefs have 4 solid tight ends to choose from and develop. Like I mentioned, we've already seen great strides from Noah Gray on the offensive side and even being a big body for the special team. The Chiefs and Brett Veach consistently do well in the draft, but have made some great choices when it comes to the tight end position. The Chiefs can't ignore the fact that Kelce will be 35 in October and is getting older. His brother Jason we all saw retire not too long ago, and Travis more likely than not will be the next within the next few years. Even if the Chiefs win the three-peat again, I could see him retiring then after winning the championship, but who knows this guy's plans? Only he does and his agent, so bringing in a guy like Wiley who can learn as much as he can from Travis and the other tight ends help this team a ton, because now the tight end room is so much deeper than what it was last season. This offense in general has way more firepower and potential going into the season. Wiley is a playmaker who some are already saying has similar characteristics and play styles as Kelce, even some calling him Kelce 2.0. Like Kelce, Wiley played quarterback in high school, so he has a lot of experience all over the field. At the combine, he ran a 4.6 40-yard dash, which ranked him 82nd percentile for tight ends. TCU didn't use Wiley as a traditional inline tight end. He was flexed out out in the slot on over 45% of his 2023 receiving snaps. This means they were comfortable for almost half of his receiving snaps having him lined up as a receiver and were confident he would make a play. He also finds success blocking and leading out for the pass as he can be a blocking tight end. Once Wiley gets the ball, he can get up to speed as he is fast in the open field and accelerates into top speed very smooth and quickly, which is great for this Chiefs offense that selected the fastest player in NFL draft history and already added Hollywood Brown, who ran a 4.27, which is very fast. Xavier Worthy ran a 4.21 to put it in comparison. During his time at TCU, the best way they were able to utilize him was throwing him the ball when he had momentum going into a running lane. He averaged 6.4 yards after the catch in 2023. 67% of his targets came within 9 yards of the line of scrimmage, so he's able to make plays after the catch really well. Wiley helps the Chiefs in the red zone a ton, as last season we all know the Chiefs offense wasn't at all anywhere near the standard we are used to. The Chiefs were 17th in the league in scoring touchdowns from inside the 20-yard line last year at 54%, which if you look at the seasons prior, the Chiefs had the #1 offense and Mahomes won MVP. That's why going into this season, the sky is the limit for this Kansas City offense that improved a ton this offseason, adding more depth to the O-line in Kingsley, but also drafting guys like Wiley who would develop into a strong tight end in this league. So it definitely will be interesting to watch his career play out as he learns as much as he can from Kelce. The Chiefs trading up for Xavier Worthy in the draft and adding a piece like Hollywood Brown is the best thing the Kansas City Chiefs could have done, as they are back to having a high firepower offense that other teams fear, because last season when they were leading the league in drops, other teams didn't fear them as they used to, and the Chiefs were being called everything by the media, and they were still able to turn it around and win the Super Bowl. So when you add guys like this to an already very disciplined team that wants to improve every day, it helps raise the ceiling for this team as much as they have so much potential for the chance to three-peat again. The Chiefs offense as well, once Rashid gets back, will be even scarier, as you have Pacheco and Clyde Edwards in the backfield, Rashid, Xavier, and Hollywood Brown as the primary wide receivers, and a tight end room with Kelce, Noah Gray, Irv Smith Jr., and Jared Wiley. This offense is deep and still has one of the best offensive lines in the league. Not to mention the defense as well is very strong as well, but I primarily wanted to focus on the offense during this video as they struggled a ton last regular season. But now with these new additions, it's safe to say the Chiefs should be in a way better spot and not lead the league in drops again. Even though they were able to turn it around in the postseason, you want to get it done in the regular season. You want to be first in the AFC and get home field advantage, and you want the playoffs to run through Arrowhead again. So the Chiefs are going to do everything they can to make sure they lock up that #1 seed again, because they miss having that AFC championship at home. That's very important for this team to be able to get that #1 seed again, to have the AFC championship back at home, to get that first round bye. We all questioned if Mahomes and the Chiefs could even get it done last season when he had to play every playoff game on the road except the wild card round. So it'll be interesting to watch this team progress throughout the whole year and have a better year than last year. Make sure you guys, if you haven't, go down below and subscribe. Turn the notification bell on if you haven't as well, so you never miss a Chiefs video or any video at all.